Hey, friends and family, thanks for tuning in to tonight's Thursday Night Thought. Tonight, we're going to talk about the relationship of cause and effect and how that shows up in certain aspects of our lives. But before I bring in this week's message, I want to preface it with this. Every once in a while, I receive messages that when I receive them, they feel super personal to me, and I question if I should even share it. And typically when that happens, they tend to be some of the best and biggest and greatest messages that I share, only because it makes me dive deeper than the outside appearance of the message so that I really get to the gold. And that's what I'm bringing you this week. So as I share this message, I want you to close your eyes and hear this message from a perspective of God speaking this message to a part of your soul and a part of why you are here. And I want you to hear this message in metaphor, whatever this represents for you, but I'm gonna go ahead and break it down after I share it with you, and we're gonna go deeper, and that's where we're gonna find the gold together. So the message is this: the platform is stable. The elements, my dear, are set. Everything you need is around you and within you to express your soul's cause and create an effect. Welcome to the stage of life. So the first thing I saw is I got a visual when this message came in, and it almost felt as if April and our past was passing on a baton to a new character that's coming in May. And that is this character who's here to express your soul's cause. And we're going to dive into that in just a moment. But I want you to think about, is there anything in your life that you have worked super hard, that you have put in time and effort to build a foundation? Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a job, maybe it's taking care of your body, whatever it might be. Think of what that is in your life right now, and imagine that all of that you've done is the foundation on which you stand, okay? And that the elements are set, and that everything you need to express this cause within you is already there and within you. And we're going to dive deeper into that. So this idea and this relationship of cause and effect. Right now, our daughter is doing a science project, and it's very much based on cause and effect. Has this hypothesis that if you use more baking powder in a quick bread recipe, that the quick bread will actually rise even more. So she uses the baking powder, and that is her cause, with the hypothesis that the effect will be that the breads will rise, right? There's a cause and an effect. And in our lives, we have the same exact things, but very often in our lives, we get caught in the emotion, in the head games, in what we perceive is going on around us, and we don't take the opportunity to look at our lives like scientists. Because if we were to look at our lives like scientists and be able to look at what the cause of what we're doing, our actions, what we're putting out, and how that's being affected in our world, and what is the effect that we're creating, then we can look at our lives a little bit differently, right? We can take away the opinions, we can take away the judgments. So for a moment, I want you to think about your beautiful stage that you're standing on, everything you've built, everything you've done. The stage is set. You're here, and you've done all this work for a reason. What is the reason? What is the cause that you want to express in order to create an effect? Well, the first thing you have to think about is you have to think about the effect. And it seems a little backwards, but think of it this way. Think of another cause and effect relationship. Think of this morning, you probably set an alarm to get out of bed, right? And without the cause of the alarm going off, you would have probably overslept and not got out of your bed. So you focused on what is it you desired as an effect, and you desired to get out of bed and get moving. So you set the alarm, and that's the cause. So that's what we're going to bring in this aspect of acting like a scientist in our own lives right now. What is the effect that you want to create in this world? Think of that for a moment. What is the effect? And once you've dove into that and really answered that question, then it's easy to try and determine what will help cause that effect. And many times it's always more than one in a relationship, right? But there can be several different causes that you can bring in. You're not just limited to one cause. Your soul may have many causes. But here's the interesting thing about applying this to our lives as scientists. We determine what we want the effect to be. Then we come back and we say, okay, in order for that effect to happen, these are the things that I have to do. These are the things that I want to express in order for this effect to come across. And when you dive into the cause, it has to be something that really motivates you. Because one of the things I've found is that if it doesn't motivate you to get excited about it or get angry about it or cry about it, if it doesn't really emotionally ignite you in some way, it's not going to be enough to create the effect. It's not enough to just think about something. I couldn't just think about setting my alarm this morning and all of a sudden wake up. Not going to happen. Something has to be done. And one of the things that I know about working with life force energy, which is our soul, is that there has to be enough of an emotional response in order for us to act. So think of something in your life right now that is emotional enough for you to act. And what would that be? Write that down as that message comes through for you. Because that's why you're here. Welcome to the stage of life. We all get to act as scientists in our lives. And the beauty of this message also is that if you don't know what that is in your life right now, and that's not being made clear to you, you can go back and look at a science experiment that's already happened. What is something that's happened in your life? What's an effect that's happened in your life, and what was the cause? If you look at it that way, then you can take, like I said, the emotion, the judgment, and the opinion, and the perception, and all of that clouds us as humans, and really look at it as a scientist and say, wow, this was the cause and effect relationship. What can I do differently now that I'm welcomed onto the stage of life to express whatever that cause is for you? So thank you for tuning in to this week's message, and I look forward to sharing our next Thursday night thought together.